Morning, guys. I actually slept in a little bit this morning. Let me get live chat set up. Obviously, we're not in the kitchen because you can hear my wife is enjoying her time off because she works for the school district, so school's out, so she's off. So she's watching Japanese TV in the kitchen. So I decided to do the live feed in here this morning. Morning, Mr. Lopez. I have a bit of announcement. We were getting real close to that 4,000 subscriber mark. And I already know what the giveaway for the 4,000 subscriber mark is going to be. Good morning. Morning, Jake. This is going to be the giveaway for the 4,000 subscriber mark. So when we hit 4,000 subscribers, because we're like 50, we're 50 subscribers from it. This is going to be the giveaway. Because I'll hurt myself with this if I keep it. Pretty sure this is going to be the giveaway. Don't take me to that. I have something else that I thought could be the giveaway because there's two items I have. I was thinking about this. I think you are crazy, Chase. This is that Van Hoy snap lock. So, guys, I have mystery boxes that I'm putting together. In case you didn't see it on Instagram, I'm going to do the same thing. $40 a box plus shipping and handling. I have 6 boxes, but Matt said that he would, you guys are actually on my knife case. That's what I'm using to prop you guys up on. Matt says he has some stuff that he could just give me for just garbage, crappy, not garbage, but like stuff that he doesn't carry. You know what I mean? Like the CRKTs and stuff. I got a bunch of this stuff from Dwayne. I used it on the channel for different stuff. There was a lot of duplicates of stuff, and so it's not stuff I'm gonna keep. So I may as well use it for giveaways and stuff like that. But I thought, to support the channel so we can get stuff going on, do like I did, which was mystery boxes with the last stuff. So, like I said, $40 a box. It's gonna be at least 3 knives per box. One box is gonna have more, but they're all, here's the thing. Every one of the knives in there is at least $20. So, with some minor exceptions, I'm saying if like you're paying $40 for a box, you're getting 3 brand new knives pretty much. There's a couple that got used a little bit. No, I haven't decided how I'm gonna do it yet. I'm probably gonna do it that way, and what it's gonna be is you just email me that you want a box. Once I get the PayPal, then I reserve you a box. But I haven't even put the boxes together yet. I wanna get the boxes all put together and then randomized and things like that. No. I'm not getting this. Let's just put it this way. Let's put it this way. If it's in here, you're not getting it. That was a gift from my father. This is a Father's Day gift from my dad to me, from father to... Nope, never did. That's an empty spot. What's here? Not happening. Not happening, guys. There's nothing in this case anybody's going to get. I would say if anything would go, it would be the crux because I very rarely carry it. But I have number 858, which is the zip code in which it was designed and Chris and Elliot manufacture. That's the area code, Chris wanted the 858 knife, and I have it. So if it went anywhere, it would go to Christopher. So nothing in this case. I'm gonna do the hard use on this. I keep promising you guys that I'm gonna do the hard use about the chipping thing. But when I was realizing I was getting chips from opening envelopes, I thought, do I really need to do a hard use? Somebody say something about my Mordax? My Mordax is right here. Big Blue has its own specific area. I don't want to contaminate my other knives. Don't want to contaminate my other knives by having Big Blue. I'm telling you guys, get me to $500 a month on my Patreon. I will carry Big Blue on a regular basis. I'll carry it for like a week straight and then carry it at least like once a week after that. So I don't know how much sharpening is actually going to happen today, guys, because the thing is, I got stuff here that I can't find a record of payment on. And I also have a box that showed up, and I'm not going to call anybody out here, but I have a box that showed up unannounced. There's no note. The only thing I have is the return address and name. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to find it. But the fact is, so my sister's talking about the fact back home in Ohio, basically our house is up on the top of a great big hill, like in what would be the foothills of the mountains. And because we live in the foothills of the Allegheny Mountains. And so when you, if you were watching the weather, Southeast Ohio Eastern Ohio is just getting shit on. And the town that she would have to drive into, pretty much anywhere she would need to go, might be flooded out because the river runs. Basically, I think the only way that you could get out would be, any of the roads that she would use to get anywhere are going to get flooded when the fucking river comes out its banks. And once the Tuscarawas River comes up out of her banks and then floods everything, then there's just really nothing you can do. Yeah, I was going to say out towards Unusual Junction, but you got to go. But see, the thing is, to get up onto that high point, you got to go down through that bottom and cross that stream. You know where I'm talking about? Down at the bottom, where they put all those fancy trailers, the fancy mobile homes, and then cut back up the hill. I think that is the least bad option. But at any rate, she's talking about they might get flooded in, so it happens. It happens where I live. There's times that I remember times that kids would have to go to school and the bus would have to pick them up and parents were taking them across as they came out towards Plainfield. You would come down the hill off there where Grandma and Grandpa Emler used to live, and then they would basically using canoes to get the kids from the bottom of the hill where the low spot was across to where the bus could pick them up, because the kids were still going to school. They were just using boats and canoes to get them across the bus stop. So, no, guys, so that's, yeah, we got 3,958 3,958 subscribers right now. So we're about, we're just shy of. I'm not gonna lie to you, everything jumped real quick from like 3,500 to 3,900, but then like every time you get close to that next 1,000 mark, it stops like 50 before it. And so I'm keeping an eye on it. But yeah, I'm gonna have a giveaway. It's this or something else. I have not decided yet. I'm afraid that if I do this, somebody's gonna sue me for cutting themselves, because this is not the safest lock mechanism. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not a real comfortable knife. It is kind of cool looking though, with scroll work and stuff on it. It looks fancy, like a pocket watch. But there's a lot of things about this I don't like. It does come though with This new inbox. Yeah, I still carry my Mako. This comes with a spare pocket clip, a set of screws. They're already Loctited. So, yeah, it comes with the tool you need to change and flip your pocket clip. So is this set for, yeah, this is set for right-hand carry. My Mako? My Mako spends a lot of time in the case. It gets carried, but I have a plan for it, so I'm trying not to. It gets carried. A lot of times there's stuff that I really want to carry because I love to carry it, but it winds up staying in a case because I want to carry something else that hasn't been carried in a long time. Like my React will get, that's the thing, like I'll pull this out of the case and I'll carry it for like with the intention of carrying it for the day, and the next thing you know, I've carried it for every day for the entire month because I love this knife. So the stuff that I really, really, really love, I'm careful how I carry it because the next thing you know, because I've got fucking 8 Ferrum Forge, 8 Ferrum Forge knives, and then this whole other case. And everybody's like, I know there's a lot of people that have a lot more knives than me, but this is the collection I've whittled down that are things that I really, really, really like. This might wind up going for, I don't know how many Fortises were made. How many Fortises were made? I think the Fortis was a 200-piece run. Well, yeah, they're completely different knives. I mean, it's like that's like comparing a pickup truck to a hatchback. They're a different. This is, well, here. Let's just do this. Mordax. Here's the Archbishop. Missed the flipper tab. Completely different blade shape, completely different handle shape. You can't compare the two because they aren't comparable. It's like trying to compare two completely different items here. See? Completely different. There's just no way to compare the two. This is a little thicker behind the edge, different steel. This is N6. This is N690, and that is 20 CV. Pocket clips are different. The whole everything about them's different. I don't know. That's why I have 8. I couldn't tell you which one was the best. Got to float to the store. You guys shouldn't have gotten rid of Dad's boat. You could have put in down at Thomas's old barn down at the corner, just right above McCrae's. Just put in like you just back her in and then just take the boat all the way to town. Go bass fishing. That barn is gone now. Oh. Anyway, yeah, I haven't decided, but none of that stuff, nothing in that case is going to be a giveaway. I do have something for sale, guys. Hang on. I keep telling you guys about it, but nobody's bit on it. I refinished the blade on this Moreish, and I fixed everything that was wrong with it. This is a custom. I talked to the guy that made the knife, and he said that somebody had put the wrong spacers in it. So he sent me the right stuff. I fixed the action. I fixed the lock stick. It's a pretty decent little knife now. It's just, for me, it's too small in hand. The handle it just doesn't feel good in hand for me, having big hands. It's just, for as wide and thick as it is, it needs to be about that much longer. That's what she said. Go ahead. I knew it was coming. I was like, I'll just let that one just go ahead. But yeah, the action on it's nice and I adjusted the lock bar tension on it. and I refinished the blade because I didn't like the finish on a blade. But this, actually, not a bad little knife. If somebody was interested in it, lightning straight carbon fiber, I was gonna sell this for like $250, maybe $300. Lock stick, blade plays taken care of. It's got a mosaic pivot. Nice and thin. If somebody wants something, this, you know what? This would make a really good work knife, I imagine, because it's nice and thin. But from what I've seen from it, the steel it's got pretty good steel. I'm not 100% sure what steel, and he couldn't tell me. Sam couldn't tell me. John, it's not a bad knife at all. Your knives are done, by the way. They'll go out is today Thursday? Your knives will go out tomorrow when I do shipping. I'm gonna pack everything up today. Nico and I are gonna get everything packed up today. And then, yeah, you probably would like, if you like a Ferrum Forged knife, you probably like all Ferrum Forged knives. I like the Archbishop because it's got that big belly. But so does the Archbishop. See, I like it because it's more of a traditional. I need to clean it up, but it's got more of a bigger belly as you come up than I could. John's local. So I would say just go with if you want one of, in my personal opinion, if you want one of the Tontos and you want to get something that's going to be a piece of history, get the 21, because I told you, I talked to Tim Reeve. The 21 is gone. They are no longer taking orders for the Sebenza 21. This is out of Tim Reeve's mouth. 21 is no longer going to be produced. They are only filling back orders that they had from vendors. The Sebenza 21 is going to go away. And if you want a Sebenza 21 and you want a Tonto, now would be the time to find one and get it before the prices go up. And then you've got the discontinued 21 and the Tonto. And I'm telling you right now, I've never had, I understand the reasoning. Tim and I talked about why they did it. I do not like the Inkosi style with the extra finger grip. It's uncomfortable in hand and stuff like that. No, it shouldn't. A Tonto, and John's local. That's the other thing too. John's right here in San Diego. We just haven't. His stuff is here because he had to mail it to me because he works up north. So yeah, I've never had any real problems. They're the same. The action's about the same, but the thing is, like, you're you know, if the 21 goes out of production, then you can't get one. Mine needs taken apart and cleaned up. It got carried enough, and I got some oil on the lock bar, so I have a little bit of weirdness to the way the lock interface feels. But I think it's more comfortable without that extra finger choil than it is with. I find this much more comfortable in hand than I ever did what they called the 25, which is now the Inkosi. The thumb stud, I love their thumb stud. I really like their thumb stud. And the thing I like about it is it doesn't grab. And once you get comfortable with it, you have to, but you're also, what I'm saying is those points have got to marry up or you're going to have rolling. If you don't get that exactly the same and marry those angles up exactly the same, you're going to have problems. And there's a lot of people, yeah. So the 31 is going to have a different lock interface. Instead of being titanium on steel, there's going to be, just like the Umnumzon and all the other Inkosi models and things like that, it's a big ceramic ball. So it acts as your detent and your lock interface. So where it locks up. And my thing, there's just, there's a sound and a feel to a 21, and that's what I told Tim, and he goes, well, the sound and the feel's the same, really. And I was like, no, it's not. It's not. I've mine's got a gritty sound to it, but because I haven't cleaned it in a while, and it's been carried and used a lot here recently, it's just not the same. Like the Unum's on and the Incosis that I had that come in and stuff like that. Yeah, lock face, the clip angle a little bit. Some people complain. I love the clip the way it is. I don't think I'm gonna like them changing it, but some people complain about the clip. See, mine is. But the key is everybody tries to push out, and it's not out, it's up. You just put your finger on it and you push straight up, and when you push straight up, that knife just rotates out. And mine, like I said, mine needs taken care of because mine is typically you can just thumb flip it like that. And people are like, oh, it hurts my thumbs. It's because of the direction you're pushing. Instead of trying to push out, you just put your finger on it and push straight up. And when you push up, it just forces it to rotate out. That's the big problem people have with opening a Sebenza. I can't. There's not enough there for me to front flip it. Never bothered me. But it is different than opening with a thumb stud is on a lot of other knives. A lot of other knives, you can get away with that. Just working in a circle. This, you want to just push up. Once you just push up on that, it just breaks it loose. And like I said, with the good hollow that this has, it does good. It does work great. There's been a lot of things like, oh, well, you know, the Sebenza there's so many things that you could do to the Sebenza, and I've said it too. There's so many things you can do to the Sebenza to make it more modern, or this, or that. And then when they do it, I actually got upset. Well, I need it because I'm doing a live feed. So, I've put extra lock bar tension on mine, a little bit of extra lock bar tension on mine, and I've actually had to take lock bar tension off of one of Nico's one time that I retensioned myself, and he was like, "No, it's too stiff, bro. It's real stiff," and I had to loosen it. Or do I have that backwards? Well, that's a secret. That's why people pay me to do it. So what I did was I did a blast, and then I had a base color, which was the green, and then I tumbled a little bit and then went back and did a little bit of bronze over top of it, and it needs to be bronzed again. And so as the green anodizing wears off, I replace it with bronze, and what you get is it looks like patinaed copper. Is exactly what it looks like. And so no, I've done the stars. If you watch, I've done one that had the starburst pattern carved in. If you go back to my Instagram, I did it bronze down inside and then blue on the surface, and it came out great. It looked like a sunrise. It's exactly what it looked like. But this thing needs sharpened too. It got, not even gonna joke with you. It got used to the point where I forget what it was. We had a bunch of stuff in boxes that came that was so big. It was stuff we had to get. And then I cut it all down. And the thing is, the finish on this, yeah, I mean, that's possible. But I actually dinked the tip. My Sebenza currently has a very rounded over tip. There is, like, normally you would not want to do that with any of my knives because the tip usually is just razor sharp. And I can just see mine's just like squared off. I was cutting cardboard, and I think I just moved, and then I dinked into something hard. Actually, this is all pocket polish. Yours will probably be smoother than this. If you want something shiny, I'll show you. Yours will look more like the blade on this knife, where it's real polished and almost a, let me see if I can get a better view. It's dark. We don't have a lot of light in here. So almost a gunmetal end polish. That thing has, the miles that that knife has traveled in my pocket, it could probably get you clear across the United States. Because it is, that's the thing about it. It is comfortable. It is, yeah, but I can't do it. I won't be able to even start on it till this weekend. Like I said, David, when I talked to you on the phone, this weekend is a competition weekend, so I'm not even gonna try and get it started because I know what'll happen. If I go to the shop tomorrow, I'll start on it and then I wanna have it done. If I go in the afternoon tomorrow, and then I'll stay there until 3 in the morning trying to get your knife done, and then I will be grumpy and miserable and make them miserable on the trip to LA, and I don't wanna do that. So today I'm doing packing, tomorrow I'm doing shipping. I'm taking Nico to get tires. I know I'm taking him to get real cheap tires on his car. Taking him to the base. I'm just gonna put tires on his car for him on the base. And so, you know, I know me, and I'll start something and not be able to leave until it's done. And then, I mean, normally I would be able to, like, I'd do it on a Friday and then work into Saturday and then maybe come up and pull it out on Sunday. But yeah. What knife is it? What knife am I doing? It's stout? Okay, it depends. One, if it's steel hardware or not. Two, if it's something that I can fit into the templates that we have so that I can polish and bronze it. Probably can. I can always just do them in a drill and polish them in a drill. But if we were going to do something complicated, like if you wanted ceramic, then I'd have to have an actual platen. So we have several platens, pieces of aluminum, and they've got holes drilled in them, and they're tapped for different size screws and stuff like that, for metric and for the standard stuff that the boys use on their knives. And so if it doesn't fit one of those, that makes it a lot more difficult to do ceramic. For that, yeah, I could do bronze, but I mean, it's gonna be a pain. I could do the same thing with David Asawa's knife. I'm gonna have to take the hardware and chuck it in a drill. Just chuck it up in the drill and polish it on the buffer while running the drill, so that then sorry, I got a phone number. It said unknown, so let me do this just for right now. So yeah, that makes it more challenging, and that makes it more time consuming, and therefore could make it more costly. But I don't. That stout or the Guthrie, the Scout, does not have that many screws. And a lot of times, the other thing too is disassembly. How hard is the disassembly and reassembly? If it's a big pain in the ass, there's certain knives I just automatically charge extra because I know the disassembly. Brian Nadeau, any knife that Brian Nadeau makes in-house, any of the Sharp by Designs, they're a nightmare to take apart and get back together. They take forever. It takes two people. Like Elliot and I both have worked on. He's like, dude, we can't. Like, he's like, just there's like we couldn't get one part out. And he's like, just mask it. Just mask it so it doesn't get exposed to the chemicals and it doesn't screw up the anodizing, and just mask it. I was like, Jesus. Some of them are pretty rough. And then there's other knives that just, like for sharpening, I already know that certain knives, I'm just gonna have to basically give people a heads up. It's gonna be extra because it's not gonna sharpen the way I want it to. Benchmade, the new Spydercos. Again, what was the other one? The Koenigs. The Koenigs always have got this thing. I was gonna try and get a hold of Bob or Bill. I can't remember his name, which it is, and talk to them about their sharpening and be like, hey, your knives, every one of them is coming with this real, almost recurved spot right at the very tip where somebody's getting it into the grinding wheel and making an inconsistent tip. And so, but the thing is, they're nice knives, and I hate to You know, they're nice guys. They're nice people too. Like I talked to them at the knife show. That's probably when I'm gonna bring it up. I'll bring it up at the show, and I'll be like, catch them offline, and be like, hey, everything he does is so tight of a fit that it's almost like everything's press fit, and it makes it real hard to get things apart and back together. Okay, if it's doable, pick up your. Yeah, I should be able to. I can match pocket clip scales, unless you want me to just do it black, just to have an accent. Let's go to the case. There's some knives that just, with that finish, just having a little bit of color. So like on this one, I just did a black pivot and hardware and pocket clip. Just because this knife looks good raw titanium, but a little bit of accent goes a long way. I didn't want something garish and bright on this knife. And so you wind up with black and gray. And then this is the one with that really, really unique, that's a unique finish because that's a stone wash. That's like a stone wash that just polished. You can still see it's almost a 3D look to this knife. So people don't realize how polished this knife really wound up being. Because when you look at it, it doesn't look like it's that polished. It looks matte. It looks grayish. I've got some scratches on it. This I try not to use. This I would say would be the only knife in my case that I say does not get used often. It's not like she's a safe queen, but the fact is I cannot duplicate this finish ever. And the guys can't duplicate this finish ever because they didn't do it in-house. What are you doing, dog? Quit sniffing my lap or my phone. So this one does not get near the use. This one just kind of sits around. It gets carried. It gets carried like if I know I'm not going to go someplace where I'm going to do any cutting. This is incredibly hard to scratch. This is a ceramic coating. So, David, so that you know, I don't use Cerakote. It's not a paint. That's a true ceramic. It's baked on and cured like a ceramic glaze, and it goes on. And this knife I've had for 3 years, and it gets a lot of use, and you can see it is starting to get some wear. But on the spine, do you know what that wear came from? You know what it took to do that? And I mean, I carry this a lot. This has been busted around, dropped on concrete, things like that. I was cleaning battery terminals. Well, this is a $700 knife. I was cleaning the battery terminals on a tractor in Ohio with the spine of this knife. That's what scratched it. You can scratch it, but holy crap, is it resilient. And it doesn't show scratches like this does. This whole knife was ceramic coated. It's been carried so much that even, like I said, it's been dropped on pavement several times. It's hard to find too many flaws in the actual ceramic. That's ano. So this was just masked off and then ceramic around it. So, I mean, like I said, I've started to get some wear on it, but it's taken like 3 years to get enough wear that it's even observable. And I've cut down, I can't tell you how many cardboard boxes I've cut down with this. So just to alleviate any concerns you had that if I did black ceramic on it, it would just look crappy and scratch. So, like I said, I got to figure out who this guy's. Marlin, if you're watching, I don't want to go any further than that. Marlin, if you're watching, you need to get in contact with me. These knives are going to sit until he gets in touch with me. They're going to go upstairs. And so what'll happen is, as does happen from time to time, I've got a box upstairs that I put stuff in, and someone will reach out to me about stuff. And I'm like, oh, you're the guy. You're the guy whose knife's been up in my office in that mail bin for the last fucking 3 weeks. How's the status of my knife? What knife? This one and this one and this one. Oh, yeah, they haven't even started them yet. Because one, I haven't been paid. That's the other one. I was arguing with another customer yesterday. I put my, so you guys know, I take the estimate up front plus the shipping, the return shipping and handling. That way, if there is nothing else wrong, which a lot of times there isn't, I just send the knife back because you've already paid shipping and handling. That stack of knives you guys saw yesterday, that stuff's all going back tomorrow to be shipped out. Well, the flip side of that is I have stuff that shows up, and if you haven't paid and then I got to follow it behind, that's why I put that in a video. But I've got a guy that just got like wound up about the fact that I told him, I was like, no, I got your stuff, but I haven't started. He's like, how, is it almost done? Or I was like, no, I haven't started. Well, why not? Well, you haven't paid me. I sent you an email yesterday about the fact that I need the upfront payment. I won't touch them. Won't even touch them. Because I had so many problems with people just keeping stuff here. And then you finally get in touch with them and they're like, oh yeah, I'll pay you, money's a little short this week. I'll pay you payday. It's like beginning in week after next. That doesn't work for me because my bank does not care. My mortgage company does not care that you have the intention of paying me for the work 2 Mondays later. Nope, it's got to be paid up front, at least the estimate. And then if there's anything due on the backside, it's just how it has to work because it just gets so unwieldy. Then the flip side is if something shows up and I know it's paid and everything that shows up, I just bounce it against the PayPal record. I'm like, okay, it's been paid. And then it goes, I don't have to worry about it again. It takes so much time tracking down payments on stuff. So I'll have stuff done and I just want to do shipping. And if I have, say I've got like 3 or 4 items that I know weren't paid, but the work is done, then it adds the complexity of, do I ship it and hope that I don't get screwed because I got ripped off that time doing that. So nothing gets shipped unless it's been paid. But the fact is, if it's been paid up front, I don't have to worry about anything when it comes time to shipping. I got 5 boxes over there. Tomorrow, we'll just go in my car, and on our way back from dropping Nico's car off, we're just going to stop at the post office. It's that quick. It's that simple. So the guy was kind of wound up, and then he called me. He actually called me and apologized because I said, "Go back and watch the video that I sent you. Go back and watch it again and see if any of this is not addressed in the video." And he called me back. He called me. He was like, "I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. That was 100% in the video, as it was." I was like, "No." And the note as well. And he goes, "Fuck, I didn't even put the note in, did I?" I was like, "Yeah, but I mean, we've talked a couple times, and I've got it written down what you want done." So, and I don't get. People just think I'm an unreasonable, obnoxious prick. And I'm not gonna lie, I can be opinionated, and I can be stubborn about my opinions. But if you could show me a valid reason to change my opinion, then there's a good chance that I will come out and say, "Hey guys, guess what? I was wrong. There's an Emerson coming, and I want to see if this is one of the new, better Emersons, because I'll do not a retraction video about my opinions on Emersons completely per se, but an update like, hey, you know what? They have stepped their game up because it's not just me. There's been a lot of people that have commented. They say, hey, look, I don't know if you've seen the new ones. And I was like, I get those comments on that Emerson video still. It's got like 18,000 views. And so I keep getting comments on that video and the one with, the one about the cold steel. Remember when cold steel I get comments on that one all the time too. That's got almost 200,000 views. And so people keep finding those videos and then commenting on them. And then I respond to those comments. So if I feel that I need to do a retraction video, I will. That is the video that has the most views. And I've tried to duplicate what I did in that video as far as thumbnail and things like that. And that's the one that made it out there that people found. I tag my videos the same way. My thumbnails aren't that much different. Titles, I try to keep titles like, I don't want the titles to be too quirky and fucking clickbaity. Because I don't want you to try, I don't want you guys to tune into the channel and have it be a clickbait video like, oh, nothing really happened. Like these videos like, we're gonna solve the mystery of this. And then you get there and they don't actually even address it. And you're like, but that's not what I wanted to see. But now they've got what they wanted. You watch the ad at the beginning, they got their click through and they got their impression. That's all they're looking for. They actually don't. My channel, I do it different. I give a shit about the content. There's a lot of channels. They don't give a crap about the actual content. What they're looking for is how can I clickbait people in to get them to watch the first ad, maybe a second ad, and that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for that impression, the click through, and some interaction. Like even if it's thumbs down, that's still an interaction. And so there's some channels that's all they're about. They don't actually give a shit about the content. They do more research as to what is trending as far as video titles and then the thumbnails and description. There are some places that have an entire staff that run their thing. Oh, okay, this is what's trending. This is what's trending. The problem is it's an algorithm and it constantly changes. And if you're trying to chase it, I said this in the live feed with Aaron, if you're following a trend, you're always a step or two behind. If you're trying to make your own trend, you're at the head of it and everybody has to follow in your wake. So I'm just gonna leave my channel the way it is. I do pay attention to things like click-through and impressions and things like that. And the thumbnails, there's a reason that my face isn't in all the thumbnails. All of the videos that are marked as trending have someone's face in the thumbnail. There's a thing about putting a face to things that is truly there. And thumbnails with a person in them are way, way more effective at drawing people in than the other forms of thumbnails, which is just be goofy stuff. Every once in a while I'll do something goofy, like I know you've all seen it. But it's the thumbnail and the title. Like there's some YouTube studios that's the only thing that they give a shit about. Because at that point it's a business. They have employees and things like that. They have to maintain. Rhett and Link do an amazing job at it. But they have a formula and they have enough subscribers that people just are gonna watch. And that's the thing. What's up, Zach? I have not heard anything back from PVK. That's the other one. You guys have got to like the videos, man. It's not that hard. If you guys are here on a live feed and there's 19 of you, please just hit the like button. If you're sticking around for that, just because that's one of the ones that is the interaction piece. Your other knife is done. Zach, I was going to ask you, I was going to try and get a hold of you this. Do you want me to ship the Fortis back? Because it might take a while to get the tools and stuff and everything for that Microtech. Do you want me to just ship the Fortis to you? Because I can throw it on a bench and sharpen it today and have it out this week. But yeah, the thumbs up, thumbs down. Actually, I mean, they count a lot because that's not it's not the most important part, but that's a big part of it. Interactions on your channel, comments are okay. Thumbs up and thumbs down, those are the big ones. Well, I'm saying I can ship it to you and then we can handle because I don't know how hard it's going to be to do that sigil. I want to look at, because the last time I took a Microtech apart, I had a hell of a time getting no, because my videos, I don't do them the way Nick does. Nick will not be in one of my videos. Nick won't show his face. I mean, we could probably figure out a way to do it, but Nick's been to the shop. I've met Nick 3 or 4 times now. I don't want to ask him that. I mean, that's his channel. I do my channel different. I like Nick. And we did a shared Instagram feed before. But I don't know if he'd want to do a collaboration video. I mean, maybe if we did it, it would probably have to be on his channel because we would have to do it the way he does it. I don't have a setup where we can do the the thing where there's no chance of either one of us, because I'm not going to do anything that would be something that would put Nick's. I know what Nick looks like, all that. He said last night he would like to do a collab. Oh, well, maybe. Maybe, you know what? I'll reach out to Nick and see what he said. When did he say that? In a video? The dog lays on my hat and it gets crooked. And she screws the bill of my hat up. I leave my hat on the, I'm talking to my daughter. Oh, cool. So I toss my hat on the love seat, and then when the dog comes down, or if the dog goes in my bedroom, she hops up on the love seat, well, she lays on my hat. And this is why I wear a hat. It's not that they care about the fact I'm going bald. It's the fact I don't give a fuck about combing it. The dog will be fine. I'm on a live feed. The dog is not more important. Okay, I'm not talking to you guys. Shut up. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. What are you doing? She's going to get her toy. How tactical are those hair spikes? I don't know. I don't know. Captain Punctuation, not sure. This is the right Peter, right? Is that the Peter? Is that Peter that I'm... Is that Peter timeout? Or is this a different Peter? Oh, so it came up on Instagram Live. I don't know, I'll have to talk to him about it. He said something about, he was looking at my edges. Mostly he was looking at that 940 I did. He goes, oh, you got some convex going on. And I was like, I sharpen all knives with a convex edge. And so he's like, I might have to have you do a couple of my things. I was like, Nick, more than willing, more than happy to do stuff for you. So I time you out, Peter. That's what we'll do. This thing, I took the chip out of it. Let me see. There was a chip right here. So the chip on this has been fighting with it, and I thought somebody might be onto something. I thought maybe there was a bad spot in the steel. So I marked, you can't see it anymore, I marked it with a marker where the last chip was. And so what I was trying to see is that chip coming back in the same place? Because I didn't even think about that. Like, all I knew is it kept chipping. It's not. So when I marked it, the chip that I had the first time was way down here. Well, then I marked the new chip, but then I went back and I looked at the video because I didn't have the markings on it still. The new chip was way up, almost at the drop up here where it starts to get the belly, where it goes from the straight down to the tip. And so that chip is not... No, because I don't use the fixture system. It adds to the time. I would charge you way more for it. And the flip side of that is your edge is not going to be there when it's done, because to put on a ceramic coating, you got to blast it if you want a dark ceramic coating. If you want it to look like, if you want to have a good, solid, clean ceramic coating that looks good, that's going to be the most wear resistant, I got to blast the blade first to give it enough surface area to adhere and get a good coating. Now, it's going to fill that in, and it's going to look good coated because it fills in all the blast pits and everything. But that also, I don't know if you've ever felt what a knife edge feels like after you've sandblasted it or bead blasted it. 80 grit garnet, it takes that metal off the edge. There is no apex on that anymore. And especially if I tumble it after, it's just going to be a dead flat thing. And then you cannot, that ceramic, you can't just strop it off. That ceramic is, I'm telling you right now, that ceramic, the first little bit of trying to take it off, this is how wear resistant that shit is and resilient. It's a pain. You got to use a really, really coarse stone. I've done a video about nitrogen steels back in the day. I talked about it. I got like 712 videos up. Zach, I know I did a video about nitrogen steel. Matter of fact, I did a video about H1 steel versus Z finite and why I liked Z finite better than H1. But I didn't have any metallurgy or anything in it that like would explain. Still 21 people, only 7 thumbs up. I'm gonna start doing it. You guys have been doing it. Guys, do me a favor, if you sign in on one of these live feeds, please, if you like it, like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I don't care. But if you do like doing the live feeds, because there's obviously 22 of us here, give it a thumbs up. It's just a button. And it gets the community shared. Yeah, we get bad actors every once in a while because stuff starts getting shared. That's the only downside to it. This whole shit that happened with somebody threatening to send information over to child services or whatever the fuck it was. That's the only reason that I even not worrying about Chris. My daughter has got headphones in, listening to music and doing her math. She can't hear me. But sometimes maybe it'd be better just to not say anything. Because I thought you had your headphones in. So, at any rate. But, yeah, so those thumbs up is what gets shit shared. So, guys, I'm going to get off of here. I have got some sharpening to do. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. It's a button down in the corner. I do it on every video that I watch. Every one of Bander 247's videos I've watched, I've given him a thumbs up. Because he does have a bunch of good videos. I got one, though, that I'm not 100% sure about. I'm going to watch it again. I think I misunderstood something he said because I was confused. It's not that I was like, this isn't a good video. It was more, I was just confused. And so I was like, watching it, and I was like, maybe I missed something, but I didn't want to, at the time I was tired, and I was like, I don't want to go back and watch that video over again at that point. So, well, it looks like only half of you guys like the videos, the live feeds, so maybe I'll start making them half as long. I really do need to start detailing this. But like I said, the only stuff I've got here really is stuff that I haven't been paid to do yet. Got 2 boxes that one, the guy hasn't paid me, and I think we've got it figured out. I think he's going to pay me, and I can start on it. And the other box is shit that just showed up unannounced that's got to go in a bin upstairs. So, don't know, guys. No more likes. No more. I get it. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to get off of here, get started. John, the other John, San Diego John, get a hold of me. Like I said, I've got this and your 2 knives. I wanted to find out from you, do you want me to ship them? So I will contact you if you're local here in San Diego. If you want to stop by my house and pick them up either today or tomorrow, I'm perfectly fine with that. I have customers that stop by the house on a regular basis. So if that's something you would like to do, I am up for that. I will be here pretty much all day. I have a couple little things that I should go take care of, but they're not that important. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you later. Take it easy.